Bitcoin just took another major hit towards the downside, and I'm gonna talk about exactly why Bitcoin dumped towards the downside, but most importantly, what is next for Bitcoin. Because as we look at the Bitcoin Bitfinex longs chart, we can see that even throughout this dump, the Bitfinex longs still got an increasement. That means that whales are still anticipating on the next major leg towards the upside. We are at a really interesting level in the market right now, and we have seen this signal before, and this doesn't ignite the next major move towards the upside within days, but on the longer term, this is just a really bullish region. We will dive into that and way more in today's video, but first of all, I would really appreciate you guys to follow me over on X, and of course to subscribe over on my YouTube channel and like this daily update video if you love those updates. And let's dive right away into the content for now, because we are at a really interesting point in the market. Why? We have been creating a double top pattern in 2020 again, and in that case, we broke towards the upside and retested that perfect double top pattern. We can see that we have been creating a double top right over here. We are creating big resistance on the top side. And then eventually Bitcoin started to break towards the upside. And after that, we saw a double top rejection once again, and Bitcoin dumped towards the downside, towards the top side of these double bottoms, double tops, and at perfect support. After that, Bitcoin started to rally towards the upside. But why is this relevant for now? What we can see is Bitcoin is creating a double top pattern once again, and we broke towards the upside, and right now we're just retesting this perfect support. This was old resistance that has been flipped into support right now. And of course, Bitcoin dumped back into this support once again. Is that the strongest thing to see? No, to be really honest, what I would love to see was a move from off this point, a perfect retest, and the next major move towards the upside. But we're not seeing that. One thing you need to know, the longer we stay above and in this support zone, the weaker it will be. So for now, what we can see is that we are creating a really strong bottom against this support zone. And please keep in mind, I don't talk about the $80,000, but we can also drop even further towards the downside, towards $60,000. That would be still a valid support for Bitcoin. So we can drop a little bit further towards the downside on the longer term. Yeah, that's possible. But on the longer time frame, we can see a major leg towards the upside for Bitcoin. We have seen it before right over here. We have been tapping into that resistance and support. Then we saw a little move up. That's exactly what we have been seeing right over here. Then Bitcoin dumped below that low, further into support, and that is exactly what we are seeing right now. So we probably will dump further into this support, and after that the Bitcoin bottom was set and Bitcoin started to rally towards the upside, and that's exactly what I'm anticipating on right now. A little bit more downside for Bitcoin, and then the next move towards the upside within the next months. And how can I say this? The Bitcoin Bitfinex longs are still increasing throughout a massive dump yesterday. We can see that Bitcoin whales are accumulating long positions like crazy. Right over here we saw a little bit of consolidation, which could look like a bottom for Bitcoin, because in the moment we saw a pump in the Bitcoin Bitfinex longs. That was the moment when Bitcoin started to drop towards the downside, and to really see the longs playing out, we wanted to see people getting scaled out of their longs, and that was the moment Bitcoin started to rally towards the upside. Right now we are seeing a drop, but a really interesting thing to see is that the Bitcoin longs are still increasing. And I think a really interesting level is this point, this red line. I really think that this could be a resistance point for the Bitcoin Bitfinex longs. So that will mean that the longs will decrease. But historical speaking, that was the moment Bitcoin started to rally towards the upside and people were taking money and profit out of their Bitcoin longs. And that was the exact moment Bitcoin set at new all-time highs. Right now, also, what is interesting to see, if we look at the Bitcoin longs chart, we are making a higher high. That would probably mean that Bitcoin is making a lower low. What we can see is Bitcoin is still above this low. So the structure is still towards the upside, and the Bitcoin Bitfinex longs are at new highs. That means that if the bottom gets formed right over here, we will see a massive expansion towards the upside, because the Bitcoin Bitfinex longs and the Bitcoin chart are diverging from each other, and that will cause for a big expansion towards the upside for Bitcoin. Then if you look at the lower time frame, what we can see is I've been talking about these boxes, these 3 boxes, for over a month here, and this was perfectly because we saw a move towards the downside in the box, towards the upside rejecting this box, towards the downside in this box. We created a new lower low. I talked about that in the video. We took out this liquidity. So what I was anticipating on was a small long further towards the upside, but we didn't get any signals for the longs because we broke this low towards the downside and we were rejecting the exact point we needed to gain for a long position. We rejected this top, and this was also a perfect short. If you look at structure, we made a lower low, we tested back the drop off point, and that was the exact point Bitcoin started to rally towards the downside. For me, to be really honest, I didn't catch it short. Like I said in yesterday's video, I was looking for a long position, but we didn't get any triggers for the long position. So we weren't in any trades here, not a short, not a long. Right now, we are at a really dangerous point in the market. Of course, we get supported by this low here, which is fine, but please understand that if we break this low towards the downside, we have no other support left close to each other. So this will probably mean that we will see a fast, sharp move towards the next leg of support. So for now, it is really important for the Bitcoin price to see a shift in market structure here on the lower time frame at the support, and that will mean that we will need to gain this region for some upside. If we don't see that we can short this move further towards the downside from off this point and either this point. If Bitcoin rejects one of those levels, I'm looking for a short position further towards the downside, and it will probably be this level and a trade something like this, because if we break this low, the Bitcoin price will drop very fast towards the downside. So please keep that in mind. For now, we're getting supported by this low, but it is really tricky, and I'm looking for shorts at this moment. If you want to trade those moves by yourself, please make sure to sign up on Blowfin or Wix through the links in the description. And if you never want to miss a trading setup, once again, it is really important to subscribe over on my YouTube channel, because I'm talking about the crypto market every single day. So please make sure to subscribe over on those YouTube videos. And of course, you can join my free trading community with the first link in the description. Then if you look at some on-chain data, we can see that if we look at the choppiness index, we can see that when price is really choppy, that was the moment that Bitcoin set a bottom and started to rally towards the upside. Why is that so important? It is all about liquidity. So we need to see liquidity building up for the next major move towards the upside. If we look at the Choppiness index, every single time we came above 60 in this red region, that was the moment Bitcoin set a bottom and started to rally towards the upside afterwards. This is purely talking about liquidity. What is saying that this could be the bottom for Bitcoin as well. The volatility is pretty low right now, and we really want to see the Bitcoin tank getting full once again, full with gas to start the next rally towards the upside. For now, on-chain data is really nice to check, of course, but I really want to see some confidence in the Bitcoin price right now. And for now, I'm not seeing any confidence of a major move towards the upside, and I'm looking for shorts on Bitcoin. And then with that, I would really appreciate you guys to follow me over on X and to subscribe over on my YouTube channel. And I will see you tomorrow by a brand new Crypto Daily Update video.